Today is gonna be a different kind of video. I'm gonna do a Q&A and also do wildlife photography. Hopefully some roe deer and maybe red deer if we are lucky. But a couple of days ago I asked you if you have some questions, and I thought maybe 2 or 3 had questions, but yeah, I got many, and it's so awesome that you ask me questions. But I'm not certain if I'm going to be able to answer every question in one video, so I might do a separate video as well. But yeah, I have to start and see how it all goes. Yeah. So the first question is a little bit complicated to answer, and the question was how I edit my pictures and how do I do it. I already have a video about how I edit in Lightroom. I leave a link in the description below, but I think maybe do another video where I try to edit bird, so you can see how I do that. But yeah, I do edit my pictures, but I don't like to edit too much and do too much. I want it to be as natural as possible, but I'm shooting at RAW, so I have to do something, otherwise it's too flat. So I do apologize before I start. I will not be able to pronounce your names correctly, but yeah, bear with me. So the next question is from a guy called Sandeep, and he asked me how I earn money in wildlife photography. And the answer to that is, first of all, I'm not a professional. I don't do this full time. I have a full-time job beside this, but the income I get from wildlife photography is by selling pictures and also having lectures and workshops. And now that I started a YouTube channel, I also get some income from commercial and sponsorship. So that is my main income for wildlife photography. It's really hard to succeed and do this full time, and especially if selling pictures. So yeah, but this is the main thing that I earn money on. So the next question is from a guy called, I think it's pronounced Bharat, and he asked me to share some wildlife experience that I have. And so yeah, first of all, I have many, so it's hard to choose, but if I should choose, I think 3 experiences. That would be Dovefjell, where I photographed the mask oxen. That is so cool to be in this vast mountain area, and you get this really nice mask oxen in this environment, especially in the winter time when there is snow and it's cold, and you get them in this environment. That is really cool. So my first meeting with the mask oxen, that experience there is, yeah, I think it's really high on my list. And I'm longing to go back. I'm definitely going back in the winter time again. So yeah, that is one of them. Another one is actually in this area that I am here. 1 year ago, this area was covered by like this cotton flowers, I think it's called, and a sudden a roder buck came walking on this in between the cotton flowers, and that has been a dream of mine for a long time, to get a roder or a red deer in the middle of the cotton flowers. And I actually got it, and it was a beautiful buck, and my pulse was pumping like crazy, and yeah, it was so great. And that is also a really great experience that I had. And the buck was just walking across the field here and knowing nothing, and did not react to my clicking sound or anything, and just walked away. So yeah, I didn't know that I was here, and I got really good pictures out of it. So the third and the last great experience that I had has to be the hawk owl. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, and there was an invasion in our area. They usually don't nest here, so there was a lot of hawk owls and that year, and I got some really close encounter, especially one that hunted around, and it was landing on different perches and a beautiful stone, and I got really cool images. Another great question was from Shakti, and the question was when I started wildlife photography, and that was actually, I think it was 10 years ago, and that was a trip to Thailand that I got to buy a DSLR of my brother, and I took pictures of some monkeys, and I thought of myself, I want to do this, I want to photograph animals and birds. So I went out and bought a DSLR of myself, and never looked back. So another question is from Anders, and he also asked me about post-processing. I will do another video on post-processing, so it's a bit hard to answer that in just telling you, but I will show you, and I will make another video about post-processing. So another question is from a great guy called Benjamin, and he has been following me almost from the start, I guess. You have to correct me, Benjamin, if it's true, but he also have a channel on YouTube, so check that out as well. I'll leave a link in the description below. But he asked me how long I used to edit pictures and make videos, and how I work in field. So I try to answer that as good as possible, but when editing videos, it depends on how much material I have to work with, how long I'm using to edit the videos. But I'm a bit I don't know what it's called, but I want it to be as best as possible. So I'm spending a lot of time to fine-tune the videos. When I first start to do the rough edges of the editing, and then start to fine-tune. So I'm probably using maybe 5 to 6 hours editing videos. And he also asked me if I have the video recording constantly on, or if I turn it on and off. And it's the last one. I turn it on and off all the time. I don't leave it constantly on. Sometimes I do on the vlogging camera, but not always. So I hope that answers your question, Benjamin. So good luck with your channel. Next question is from I will pronounce this wrong, but Wojciech or something like that. But yeah, he asked me why I choose to photograph birds and wildlife and not landscape. And I do some landscape, but mostly birds and animals. And the answer is simple. I grew up with a father who is a hunter and has brought me out in the wilderness from a very, very young age. And I grew up with animals and birds around me all the time. So I love that. The animals, the birds, and getting close to them and seeing the behavior and all the color variation, and yeah, it's so cool. So that is why I love wildlife and birds, because the interaction with living animals and birds is so good. I love that. I really do. It's good to do some landscape in between, but mainly it's wildlife and birds photography. There is some called himself Crazy Cam, and he asked if I can do a video in the tropics. And yeah, that would be awesome. Really cool. But for now, it's a bit too expensive for me to travel to the tropics. But maybe someday, I hope that would be really cool. There is some awesome wildlife in the tropics. So the next question is from Philip Watson, another great supporter of my channel who has watched my videos for a long time now, and he always is supportive for me. I appreciate that, Philip. But he asked me if I do find stalking or waiting for deer most productive, and the answer to that is definitely waiting. It's so much more efficient and productive to wait out for the deers to come out to you and not you to go after the deer. That is so much harder because you can step wrong, and any sound can make the deer disappear. But yeah, but it's not wise of me sitting here and talk, but I think it's okay. It's a bit early yet before the deer comes out, so I have some time to talk before they come. So Desi Baba has 3 questions, and I'll try to answer them all 3. The first one, what my daytime job is, and I work as a department leader in an electronics shop where we sell electronics, and I work in a department for computers. So yeah, that is my daytime job. And the next question is if I'm at the stage where I can replace my income with photography instead of my daytime job. And the answer is no, I don't have it yet, but maybe sometime in the future. That would be great though. Ricky asked me what part I do the most earnings in photography. Like I said, sales of prints, it's really hard. So I'm doing workshops, and I have done that before YouTube as well. So that is a good way to get income. And after the YouTube now, I also have a good sponsorship. So yeah, I would say that is the most income that I have in photography. Next question is from a guy called Sabadeep, and he asked me if I only use prime lenses or if it would be benefiting to using zoom lenses. And definitely would be benefiting to using zoom lenses, but I use prime lenses of the reason of optics. It's so much more sharper, and also you get a lot more light in with f4 or f2.8. So therefore I'm using the prime lenses, but would prefer to have something lighter, and of course the versatile of the zoom as well. But yeah, I love my prime lenses. They do the job that I like, so yeah. Another good question is from Max Springer, asking me how I find location for wildlife and bird photography. And first of all, it's experience of the species that you want to photograph, and knowing their habitats and when they're active. Number 2, it's word of mouth. So you get maybe local people telling that I have seen different animals or birds in that area. So talk to them, and also finding a good book on location, and using also the internet. There is, I guess it's many countries has observation type of web page, which you can use to observe where there are birds observed. So yeah, but many times also you get stumble upon and being lucky finding a wildlife, like I did with the common teal, for example, and that was a lucky strike. And I had a lucky strike with a hare last year as well. That was also really cool. So yeah, some luck is also involved in this scouting, and you know next time that this is an area in which there can be wildlife. Brian Mead had a similar question that Max had. I hope I answer it in that question. If not, write me a comment and I will try to answer that better. Matthew asked me if I can talk more about my gear. I won't do that in this video because it's gonna be too long, but I might do it in another video talking about my gear, what I have in my bag, and yeah, I guess some of you want to see that. So yeah, I might do another video of talking about my gear. We had a really cool question by Martin. He asked me how I pronounce my first name right, and yeah, if I talk in Norwegian, my name is pronounced Trond, and if I'm talking in English, I just say Trond, just like in the movie. So yeah, that's that. Joe Morano is another great follower of mine, and also have an awesome YouTube channel as well. Go and check him out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Doing wildlife mainly in the UK. And he asked me, when do I travel to UK? And the answer to that is hopefully soon. It's the next country I want to travel to photograph. There's a lot of cool wildlife and birds in the UK. So hopefully that won't be too long till I'm going over to the UK. So yeah, and good luck with your channel, Joe. Really cool. Check out his video about hares. That was so cool. The last question is from Andy, and he says, "Hi Trond, I have so many questions, but I guess for me it's your content is inspiring others to get out there and enjoy nature. Are there any standout story of where you've seen this happen?" And that is so good to close with this, because my main goal for starting this channel here was actually to inspire other people to go out, enjoy nature, and fall in love with the beauty of everything around us, because we have so much to take care of, especially now in a world where all this question about climate change and everything around us changing, insects dying, and all kind of sad stuff. So hopefully a little bit of my content can inspire to take care of nature. And so for me, that is number one. A guy who actually was open about it on Facebook told me that he has suffered from anxiety and depression, and I and Morten Hilmer and others had inspired him to go out and enjoy nature. And that is, I'm feeling so lucky to ever inspire other people. So yeah, that is my main goal, to do that. So yeah, that is so cool. Yeah, so that was all the question, and I hope I did answer it in any way that you understand. If not, write me a comment and I will try to reply as good as possible. But it was so cool to read out all these questions and all these nice words, so thank you very, very much for taking time to write to me. Yeah, now it's waiting time for the road there, maybe red there, but it's a bit noisy around me of farmers and traffic, so there might not be any there at all. But anyway, I got to go out. I had a busy week at work, first week after the vacation, so always good to be out enjoying nature, and hopefully a bonus would be a deer coming out in this grass here. That would be awesome. Now this turned out how it most of the time turned out when I'm out photographing there with absolutely nothing. But yeah, I got to be out here. But it was really great being out. And thank you again for all the great questions. And I will make some video about my post-processing again. So, and yeah, so we can get the answer there. But, yeah. Don't be afraid to ask me more questions in the comment section, and I will try to answer them. But until next time, I will see you.